This is the Irontrader. This is the last call of the day. So we'll take a look here at Bitcoin, Ethereum, gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas, and we'll take a look here at the indexes, the Dow, S&P, and the old Nasdaq. At the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy selling stock or ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Alrighty, here we have Bitcoin. Here's your daily, here's your weekly chart. Now you can see here we've got that downtrending situation. We had the tweezer top here, came right on down. Should be no big deal. Again, Friday we had this nice big bottoming candle, and look what we have here again. We have this nice big bottoming candle, okay? So what we had is 85,200. That was the low. I'll just stretch her out a little bit here and see where we come right up to the left-hand side, okay? So what we're looking for is we're looking right here to the left of the chart, okay? 84,790. You notice that we held that. Your next level would have been 83,905, and then we come down here to this 83,10 level. Then you have your big retest there at 80,70. But again, this thing held it very, very nicely. Now, we made a nice higher high and a higher low. Very, very nice. So right now, what we're looking at is 88,875. That's your upside. Your next upside level here is going to be right here is going to be 89,325. And then your next resistance is going to be at that 91,315, which lines up very, very nicely here with the 91,276. This 8-day is going to be everything, as you can see. When that price gets below it, everything just follows right on down. When the price gets above it, it goes right on up, goes right on up, gets below it, right on down, right on down. So we got to get back above this key 8 SMA here. Now, if we can, then what we'll do is we're going to come right over to the top of that candle there. We're looking at 93,290 level. We'll come up here, looking at 93,960 level. And then we'll come over top of that candle right there. You're looking at that 96,145. And we'll look to the bottom. You're looking at 97,905. And then we'll come to the bottom here. You're looking at 99,250. And then there's your 21-day at 100K 717. Nice. Get above that, there's your 200-day, there's your 50-day, there's your 100-day, there's your retest. Right now, the price is below all your simple moving average, and everything is a waterfall. But look what we have here, okay? Oversold condition, oversold condition. Same way here at this MACD. Now you can see how the little bars are starting to curl right on up. That's always a good sign. So let's just see if this can curl right back. And we're right at the bottom here. So we can get it back above that 8-day, this thing could run. Now, BITX was a really, really good trade today. I didn't take any short. Probably could have taken a little short, but I didn't take no short today. I was just looking for the trade on the long side, okay? So it hit 28.51 level on the downside in 30.91. Okay, so right now I'm still long. Okay, I'm still long trade 28.51. I got in there at 28.70, so that wasn't too bad. Okay, because all I was doing just looking to the left of the chart, and now it looks like we're going to be rising up here. So I'm long, and I'm staying long, and I'm going to see if we can get to that 8-day and see what the reaction is once we get there. Now we look at the weekly chart, came right on down here, but you notice that we're holding that 100-day, okay? Yeah, Friday did it come down below it? Absolutely, but it hold it. It held it, okay? Today, look where the candle is. We held that 100-day again. Nice. Now, we still have an uptrending chart, okay? So we still have an uptrending situation where we have this low, higher low, higher low, and higher low situation. Came down pretty close here. We did not retest that level, so we're holding that 100-day. That's very, very nice. Now, if we can rally up here, we can probably hit all the way up to that 8-day, that 101,971, and then we have 102 up there. You have 110 over there. But again, that's by Friday. Now, remember, this is a shortened week here. You got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then off on Thursday for Thanksgiving, and then half a day on Friday till 1 o'clock, and then she's all done, okay? So we got to make a lot of money here in just a few days, which so far is not a problem. My TQQ, I did a video on it here for you at Midday Trading, working really, really nice. Meta's working, Apple's working, Microsoft is working, Apple, Google, Palantir, Netflix, Tesla, you name it. All the technology is right back on board. Yeah, last week is that, oh, the AI. AI is kicking ass, and you're only in the second inning of this. You got so far to go in this AI, so don't let it frustrate you one way or the other. But right now here on Bitcoin, all we're really watching on the upside is we're going to be watching that 8-day. We get above it, and we got a good shot at hitting that 21-day and that 200-day. But the key of it is if we can close back above that 8-day, we can get that turn, and then we can have what we have here and take it right back on up again. Okay, let's take a look here at Ethereum. Alrighty, here we have Ethereum. Okay, so here we have your daily chart. Now you can see we put this bottoming tail here on Friday, and same thing again here today. Now we have a nice green candle, but right here is the 8 days, guys, going to be everything. So up the upside, you want to watch that 3009, very, very critical. We got to get back above it to make that do this 8-day turn, and we can rally it right back up again. Your next level of resistance is going to be 3068, and then we just follow the candles all the way up here. You know, you got 3128. We can come up here, you got 3226 level. We come up there, you got 3270 level, but realistically, this is your target is at 3396 level. Okay, so really here you have your 8-day, your 21-day, your 50-day, your 100-day. These are all your big, your 200-day. These are all your big targets, your upside. Now you always want to watch the candles, the high, low, to close, but realistically, if you get above that 8-day, good chance that you're going to start hitting that 21-day, that 50-day, and start rallying right on up here. Now, on the downside here, obviously, what we do is want to watch Friday's high, okay, 28.93, and then we'll watch to do today's low, look at 27.64, and then you want to watch that 26.27 level. That's going to be very, very key. We lose that, we can come over here all the way down to this 200-day at that 24.56 level. Now, we look at this weekly chart here. You can see here so far we have an inside week, but you know it's one day. So we have to rally up here. But again, this is going to be strong resistance when you start hitting that 100-day, and very strong resistance if you hit that 50-day. Okay. So in order to do that, then you can blast up to that 8-day. But see how the 8-day curled over? So this is going to be, you have a lot of resistance here. So this isn't like a clean sweep all the way on up here. So don't think that it is. Okay. So here we are, only at sitting at 42, plenty of room to run. The green is still below red, showing that downtrend momentum to the downside. But we look here on the daily. Now, we came all the way down here. We didn't get oversold like Bitcoin, but we came pretty close. And now we're only sitting at 37, and we have the green below your red. So let's just see if we can get back above that 8-day. If you can, then remember that 200-day is going to be your target. You crack above that, that 21-day is going to be your target. On the downside, just watch Friday's low, 26.27. That's what we're trading against on the downside. All right, take a little peek ski here at gold and silver. All right, here we have gold and silver. Gold is looking very interesting here. Right now here, we're above this 8-day. So I'm very, very tempted to jump in that GLD. We got to see how this is going to shake out. So you got to hold that 4,088. That's going to be very, very key. That's your support level. Your next support level is right here, 40.50. Your next support level is the 50-day, 40.06, and then 39.01. That's all going to be your key levels there of support. The upside here, we made as high here as 41.26. So we want to look right to the left of the chart here. 41.34. So what I'm waiting for here, I know it's above the 8-day, but what I'm looking for here is the top of this candle right there, okay? 41.34. We just don't want to have a double top situation where she comes right on down. So right here, this is your next resistance, 41.34. Then we'll come up here, 41.55, march it up to 42.18, and then we have that retest at 42.50. We crack that. There's your target, 43.98. Okay, but right now, looking good. We have nice, good consolidation. I was looking for a cup and a handle here. Didn't kind of really play out, but we have this nice, good sideways consolidation. But what I'm just going to look very concerned about here is the top of that candle at that 41.34. That we don't double top, okay, that we want to break through that and head to that next level. 55, plenty of room to run. The green is, this is like a sideways action that can curl over and go higher. So right now, this is looking very, very good as long as we hold that 8-day. You lose that, you got the 21-day, the 50-day, and then we have that retest. Okay, silver. Not as good, but you're right into that 8-day. Okay, see how strong that 8-day is? See what we have here all the way there? Popped above, but you close all above. So far, we're sitting right at it. So the key here is that 50.62 level. Then I say get above. I'll be watching that 51.57. Then we were at 52.24 level. We'll come up here at that 53.37. And then right here, you always want to watch that, 53.76. And then retest 54.41. But the 8-day is very, very key. Now you can see how it came on down. And now how nice that 21-day held. Just like the 50-day held on Friday. Nice. Okay, 49.36. There's your support. Next big target, 48.19. You lose that, 45.51. Then we have 100-day and 200-day all the way below that. But right now we have that nice, good sideways consolidation. Let's see if we can crack above this thing. I'll jump in the SLB, and maybe we can take this bad boy to the retest. All right, let's take a look here now at crude oil. All right, here we have crude oil will not give up the ghost. Now, T-Man wants to have a deal between the Zelensky guy and now Putin, okay? So he wants to get a deal going. If he does, crude could sell off pretty hard, okay? But right now, you know, one day you got a deal, next day you don't have a deal. One day you got a deal, you got a deal. So that's how it is. That's the Middle East. That's how it works. I've been doing this for 2.5 decades. There's no different than it was then than it is now. It's just the same old shit, okay? So always, always remember that. You know, even they call a ceasefire, that doesn't mean it's really a true ceasefire. I've seen where they call a ceasefire and 2 minutes later they're bombing each other. So, you know, you got to be very, very patient. However, the U.S. is starting to fill up the SPR with the old Crude ski, so that's always a good sign. And again, you got sanctions against Russia, you know, on their 2 largest oil companies. So that might force them there to, you know, make a deal. If they say, okay, I'll take the sanctions off, if you can make a deal. So patience is key, and basically two-way trade kind of a situation. Okay. So again, I scalped the UCO today, which was very, very good. I still got the SEO, but I scalped that UCO. That was a really, really good trade kind of situation. Got down to 19.55, and it got as high as 31 level. So again, it was a really good trade, but I got 50 cents out of it, and I'm trading 5,000 shares. So that was a really good trade there in the old crude oil today. Now, what are we up here against? Right here. This is the next level, 59.24. So when the futures open tonight at 6 p.m., watch that. That's going to be very, very key. Next level, 59.87. Next level up, 60.72. Next level up, 60.17. Then the next level, top of that candle, 62.59. Then we got the Hondo here at 62.87. We got the 200-day, and then we got the retest. Okay, but right now, only thing you're looking at here is the 8, 21, and the 50. That's where this thing is stuck between. Okay, now on the downside, we want to watch Friday's low. That's going to always be key. 57.38 level. And then next, we lose that. You got 56.35, and then a retest down there at 55.96. Lose that, right there's your target at 55.12. Just very, very simple. But right now, just watch those futures and watch that 8-day. We start crocking about that 8-day. Boom, I'll jump right back in there, and I'll take it right up to that 21-day and right up to that 50-day. So again, just be very, very patient with this kind of a scenario. Okay, so right now I got the SCO as a hedge, and I'm just scalping the UCO to see what's happening. Now again, we crack above that 50-day, that hedge will be gone, and I'll be full balls out going in there, heading for that 100-day, possible 200-day. Now, here we have 45. That's not overbought or oversold. We got sideways action going on here. So right now we have a downtrending situation, but it's a good trading situation. Every day you can just scalp this thing long and short. Okay, let's take a look here now at Natgas. Here we have natural gas. Okay, now this is always a good trade. So we had this really nice run up after the contract roll, and then we had this nice high at 468. We retested it Friday with 467, but you notice we have that double top. It could not get through. Now today here we have a little bit lower low, lower high. So basically on the downside, what you're watching is right there. It's at 4.49. That is your 8-day. Okay, we're holding that as of right now. Then we can do is come down to today's low, 4.44. We come down to the bottom of this candle, 4.35. And then we look at that 4.26. And then we have the retest down there at 4.23. Now, we have a nice good bottoming tail here, okay, situation, but we also have a double top. So it's kind of like a no man's land. Now, upside, well, we got to look here. We got this 457. We want to come up to the top of this candle. You have 46. And then we come up to that retest at 468. This is the key. You have to close above this. Not pop and drop. You have to close above this. If you do, this is your target at 490. Okay, so if this closes back above it, I'll jump in at UNG, and we'll take it all the way up to there. It's not going to be instant, but that's where we're going to be heading on direction-wise. Okay, now, small trades in this on natural gas. Crude was way better today. Okay, small trades in this. It didn't have that much movement, but again, not too bad. So today, just watch that 8-day. Very, very key. As long as we hold that, if we lose it, we can retest that 21-day. Upside here, 468, that's everything. We close above it, 490, your target. Okay, right here, plenty of room to run here yet. You can see how strong this is. The green is below your red, but we have that sideways action that can straighten out. Looking not too bad right here. I'm just looking for that 4.68. All righty, let's take a look here at the indexes. Here we have the indexes. Now you can see here, okay, let's big this all up here. There you go, now you're talking. Okay, so you have the Dow. Came right down here. Look how nice it held that 100-day. Hey, see, that's why you trade the charts. So when you held that 8-day, we always round up. And then what we do is we look at, say, is it going to hold that 8-day? Is it going to hold the 21-day? If not, we go to the 50-day. If not, we go down to the 100-day. Here it is. There's your target right there. Look how nice it held. Now we're up here. Where do we go? A little bit higher, but you got to close above that level. That's the key, is closing above that 8-day, 46, 487. If you can, you're going to head right to that 21-day. At 47.097, we get above that level. Here's going to be your target up here at that 48.04.40, and then right here 48.40.31. That's going to be your big target. But 8-day, 21-day, very, very, very strong resistance. However, right here now, 46, okay? Read the sum of that out here, looking not too bad. The green is still below your red, but this could calm up and go up very, very nicely. Now on the downside, just watch that 100-day. That's everything. We lose that, it will come right to the bottom of this candle right here. You're looking at that 45,698. See, just that simple, okay? Very, very easy. Now, here we have the S&P, same thing. Came all the way down here, but look how nice it held this 100-day. See? She's a beaut, Clark. Look at that. Now, she got above the 8-day, but where did it go? Right into the 50-day. Stopped it cold. Boom. Just like a brick wall. So, on the upside, you're watching that 50-day. We get above 67.13. We get above that, 67.60. There's your target. But you got to be careful because look how it rejected it and came right on down. So, watch that. If you get above that 50-day, watch that 20-day. They get above that, well, we can start heading right to there, 68.28. We come up here, 68.69, 69.20. Got the retest. Okay. Downside, just watch the 8-day. Very, very critical. You got to hold that. If not, we could retest right here. 65.52 and then maybe 65.21 all the way on down. But you notice how nice it held that Hondo. Okay. All right. Here we have the NASDAQ, one of my favorite trades. Okay. Came right down, held it nice. Look at this 100-day. Popped down there on Friday, but where did it close? Above Hondo. Okay, see that? And look at this chart. Above the 8-day into the 50-day. Huh? Jeez, look at this and look at this. Like looking in the mirror. Look at that shit. Okay, boom. Okay, so right you are. 50-day, that's going to be very, very critical. 22,891. We get above it, you're looking right here, 23,168. Okay, you get above that, you're going to come right up to this level, 23,564, and then we have this gap up here at that 23,644, and then we want to look to the bottom of that candle at 23,764. Gap, fill, and then we have the retest all the way up that 24,19 level. But got to get above that 50-day in order to hit that 20-day, in order to hit that, in order to hit the gap, in order to hit the fail. You got to get and close above that 50-day. Downside right here, 22,583, your 8-day. If not, then we're going to be looking right here, 22,79, your 100-day, and then we have your retest down there of Friday's low at 22,531. So look at that, see? Nice. Okay, so as I was pointing out a long time ago, if it lacks one, okay, it goes to the next one. Okay, so we lost the 8-day, goes on 21-day, down to the 50-day, and then we have your catch-all right down here all the way at the 100-day. Did the exact same thing, okay, on the S&P, and the exact same thing on the Dow. So if you know this in advance, how much money could you make? All right, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here tomorrow morning. We'll do it all over again. Trade what's in front of you, not what you want.